Preliminary graphics.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that moment where you're staring at a blank page,
Oh, yeah.
completely lost?
Many times.
That's where preliminary graphics come in.
Okay.
They're all about capturing those raw, messy ideas
Yeah.
before you worry about making things perfect.
Exactly like sketching out your thoughts before you write an essay.
Oh, okay.
Think of it as a visual brainstorm.
All right.
So let's say you're designing a poster for a Sealed. You know, a proper Scottish knees up.
Yeah.
At this stage, you wouldn't worry about getting the font perfect or finding the exact right image.
Right.
You'd just be scribbling down ideas, maybe trying out different layouts,
Okay.
and just seeing what feels right.
So it's like those messy doodles in your notebook
Yeah.
that somehow turn into brilliant ideas.
Exactly. Those scribbles and sketches are like a secret language that only you understand at first.
Oh, right.
But they help you visualize your ideas and
Right.
explore different possibilities.
I bet this is where those aha moments happen.
Absolutely.
Like suddenly you see the perfect design emerging from the chaos.
Yes, and the cool thing is,
Yeah.
these preliminary graphics are usually just for you.
Right.
It's like a visual diary of your creative process.
Rope.
You can try out crazy ideas, make mistakes, and refine things without anyone judging you.
That's really good.
It is, yeah.
So what kind of things would a 16-year-old in Scotland be creating at this stage? I'm picturing some epic designs for local bands.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine sketching out a website layout for a band,
Okay.
figuring out how to showcase their music tour dates,
Yeah.
maybe even a cool interactive element,
Right.
or you could create a storyboard for an animated short film,
Oh, wow.
like a hilarious scene from a Chippy.
Okay. I'm already seeing the potential here. But
Yeah.
how do we go from these rough sketches
Okay.
to actually creating something real?
That's where the magic of production graphics comes in.
Right.
Think of this stage as taking those raw ideas and turning them into precise blueprints for making or building something.
So it's like those Lego instructions that tell you exactly where each piece goes.
That's a great analogy.
It's not like Lego.
But we're talking about things way cooler than Legos.
Okay. Even better.
Imagine you're designing a skate park for your town.
All right.
Production graphics would involve creating detailed plans with accurate dimensions for every ramp, rail, and obstacle. You'd be using specific line types and symbols that everyone in the construction world understands.
So there's like a secret language for technical drawings?
Yes, it's like a universal code
Wow.
that ensures everyone involved in the project speaks the same visual language.
Right.
Think about it. If you were building a flat pack model of the Fourth Rail Bridge, you wouldn't want any confusion about where each piece goes, right?
Absolutely not. Especially with something as iconic as the Fourth Rail Bridge.
Exactly.
So these production graphics are all about being precise and detailed.
Absolutely. It's like a recipe for building something amazing.
Yeah.
You're providing all the information needed to make your vision a reality.
I'm starting to see how preliminary graphics and production graphics work together.
Yeah.
You start with the big ideas,
Uh-huh.
then you get down to the nitty-gritty details.
Exactly. They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
And once you've got something amazing built, you need to shout about it from the rooftops.
Well, I like that.
That's where our final P comes in promotional graphics.
Okay, so this is where we get to unleash our inner marketing guru.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Think of promotional graphics as the art of grabbing people's attention
Oh,
and making them care about your creation.
okay.
It's like a visual megaphone
Boom.
that amplifies your message
Okay.
and makes it impossible to ignore.
I like that.
Yeah.
A visual megaphone.
Yeah.
So it's all about making things look cool and exciting.
It's definitely about being visually appealing, but it's also about being strategic.
Okay.
You need to understand your audience
Right.
and what will resonate with them.
Yeah.
Imagine you're designing a poster for a school fundraiser.
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't use the same style as a poster for a rock concert, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
For the school fundraiser, you might use bright, friendly colors
Yeah.
and images that appeal to families. And for the rock concert, you probably go for something edgier
Yeah.
and more intense.
Exactly. It's all about tailoring your design to the message and the audience.
Yeah.
And it's not just about posters. Promotional graphics encompass a whole world of design, from brochures and flyers
Okay.
to websites and social media posts.
So it's like taking those amazing designs from the production graphics stage
Yeah,
and making them irresistible to the world.
precisely.
Oh, wow.
Let's say you've created a brilliant new flavor of Earn Brew.
Okay.
Promotional graphics would involve designing packaging that makes people crave it, maybe a website that tells the story behind the flavor,
Okay.
or even social media posts that get people talking and sharing.
Okay. I'm getting some serious inspiration here.
Yeah.
I can already picture myself designing the next viral marketing campaign.
That's the spirit.
But hold on, we keep talking about all these amazing projects.
Yeah.
What about those SQA assessments?
Okay.
How do these 3 Ps actually show up in the exams?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The SQA examiners love to see evidence that you understand these 3 Ps.
Okay.
They want to see that you can not only create awesome designs, but also explain the thinking behind them.
So it's not enough to just make things look pretty.
No.
We need to be able to explain why we made certain design choices.
Exactly.
Right.
For example, in past exams, students have been asked to explain why they use certain colors or fonts in a design, or why they chose a particular layout for a website.
Right.
They've also been asked to analyze existing designs and explain the thinking behind them.
Oh, that makes sense. So they're testing our detective skills.
It is a little bit.
We have to look for clues
Yeah.
and figure out the designer's intentions.
That's right.
Speaking of detective skills,
Okay.
I remember reading some feedback from past SQA reports,
Uh-huh.
and it seems like some students struggled with those explain questions.
Yes. Those can be tricky. It's easy to fall into the trap of simply describing what you see,
Yeah.
but the examiners are looking for a deeper level of analysis.
Right.
You need to show that you understand the why behind the what.
So instead of just saying the poster uses a bold font,
Yeah.
we need to explain why that font choice is effective. Maybe mentioning that it grabs attention
Yeah.
or conveys a certain mood.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's all about demonstrating that you can think like a designer
Yeah.
and analyze those choices critically.
Okay.
Another common challenge for students is interpreting information from technical graphics,
Right.
especially in the 2023 and 2024 papers.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
It seems like some students had trouble extracting the right information from those technical drawings.
Uh-huh.
Like they could see the lines and symbols, but they couldn't quite figure out what they meant.
Exactly. This highlights the importance of really paying attention to those technical drawings, understanding the symbols,
Right.
and being able to read the information they convey. It's a crucial skill for anyone going into design or engineering.
And it's a perfect example of how production graphics come into play in the real world.
Absolutely.
If you can't read a technical drawing, you're going to have a hard time building anything.
It's like trying to bake a cake without understanding the recipe. You might end up with a delicious mess,
Right.
but it won't be what you intended.
Okay, so explain questions and technical drawings are definitely something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Another recurring theme in the reports was the importance of sketching skills,
Yeah.
especially pictorial sketching.
Oh, yes. Sketching, the fundamental skill that underpins so much of graphic communication.
Yeah.
Like the foundation of a house. Everything else builds upon it.
Right.
And pictorial sketching in particular seems to be an area where many students could use a bit more practice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Pictorial sketches are those 3D representations
Yeah.
that show an object from a specific viewpoint,
Uh-huh.
like isometric or perspective drawings.
Yeah.
They require a good understanding of proportion perspective
Yes.
and visual communication.
Exactly. It's like taking a flat image and bringing it to life in 3 dimensions.
Right.
And it's a skill that comes in handy in all 3 of our P categories.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Uh-huh.
For preliminary graphics, you might use pictorial sketches to quickly visualize different ideas for a product or a logo.
Mm-hmm.
For production graphics, you might use them to create a more realistic representation of an object that's being designed.
Yeah.
And for promotional graphics, you might use them to create eye-catching illustrations for a website or a brochure.
Precisely. Pictorial sketching is a versatile skill that can elevate your design work in so many ways.
Right.
And the good news is,
Yeah.
it's a skill that can be developed with practice.
So grab those pencils and sketchbooks, folks.
Yeah.
The more you practice, the more confident you'll become in bringing your ideas to life in 3 dimensions.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to experiment with different techniques and styles. There are countless online tutorials and resources available to help you develop your sketching skills.
Speaking of resources, I remember the SQA providing tons of support to help students prepare for these assessments.
Yes.
Didn't they have past papers, marking instructions,
Yeah,
and even specimen question papers on their website?
they certainly do.
Yeah.
The SQA website is a treasure trove of information for anyone taking higher graphic communication.
That's great.
It's like having a secret study guide, but it's available to everyone.
That's awesome. So there's really no excuse for not being prepared.
No.
We've got the 3 Ps, we've got those SQA insights, and we've got a whole website full of resources.
Exactly. It's all about putting in the effort and embracing the challenge. Remember, these assessments are designed to help you develop valuable skills that you can take with you into your future career.
Right.
So have fun with it and show the world your amazing graphic communication talents.
All right, now that we've covered all the essential SQA tips and tricks,
Okay.
let's get back to the heart of it all. We've already talked about how preliminary graphics are all about capturing those raw, messy ideas, those initial sparks of inspiration that get the creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
But what happens once we have a page full of sketches and scribbles?
Okay.
How do we start shaping those ideas into something more concrete?
That's where the magic of refinement and development comes in. Think of it like taking those rough diamonds from your preliminary sketches and starting to polish them, revealing their hidden brilliance. Okay, so we're talking promotional graphics. It's like taking all that hard work we've put into our preliminary and production graphics and using it to create something that truly grabs people's attention and makes them want to learn more.
Exactly. Promotional graphics are all about creating a lasting impression, whether it's through a striking poster, a captivating website, or a memorable social media campaign.
All those things.
Okay, I'm already feeling inspired. But before we get carried away with our marketing dreams, let's take a closer look at what exactly promotional graphics entail. What kind of specific techniques and tools might we use in this stage?
Okay, well, the world of promotional graphics is vast. It's ever evolving. But some of the key elements, I guess, would include visual hierarchy. This is the art of arranging elements on a page or a screen in a way that guides the viewer's eye and emphasizes the most important information. Think about using size, color contrast, and placement to create a clear visual hierarchy.
Okay, so it's like we're directing the viewer's attention to what we want them to see first.
Exactly. You got it.
What else?
Typography.
Yeah.
Choosing the right font can make or break a design. So consider the mood and message you want to convey and select a typeface that reflects that. Play around with different font sizes, weights, and styles to create visual interest and emphasis.
So it's like finding the perfect outfit for your message.
I like that.
Yeah.
The perfect outfit for your message. You're good at this.
Okay. What about colors?
Colors.
Yeah.
Colors have a powerful impact on our emotions and perceptions. So choose a color palette that aligns with your brand or message and evokes the desired feelings, and then consider using color contrast to highlight key elements and create visual impact.
So it's not just about picking our favorite colors.
No, it's more strategic than that.
Yeah. We have to think about how those colors make people feel and how they support our overall message.
Exactly.
What about images?
Imagery, whether it's photography, illustration, or graphics. Using high-quality imagery can significantly enhance the visual appeal and effectiveness of your promotional materials. So choose images that are relevant, engaging, and evoke the desired emotions.
So it's like using visuals to tell a story and connect with our audience on an emotional level.
Yeah, you're getting it.
All right. And how about the layout?
Okay, layout and composition. The way you arrange elements on a page or screen can significantly impact the readability and visual appeal of your design. So use grids, white space, and alignment to create a sense of balance, order, and visual harmony.
So it's like creating a visual flow that guides the viewer through the information in a way that's both pleasing and easy to understand.
Exactly.
Okay, and finally, what about that all-important call to action?
Yes. The call to action. A clear and compelling call to action tells your audience what you want them to do, whether it's visiting a website, making a purchase, or attending an event. So use strong verbs, compelling language, and visual cues to encourage action.
So it's like giving our audience a gentle nudge in the right direction.
Yeah, a little push to get them to take that next step.
Wow, that's a lot to consider. It sounds like promotional graphics involve a strategic blend of design principles, marketing savvy, and psychological insights.
It does. It's a multifaceted field.
Okay, so now that we've got a good grasp of the key elements of promotional graphics, let's shift gears a bit and talk about those SQA assessments. How do these concepts actually show up in the exams?
Okay. Well, in past SQA exams, students have been asked to analyze existing promotional materials. Things like identifying the target audience, the message, and the effectiveness of the design choices.
Right.
They've also been asked to create their own promotional materials for a given product, service, or event.
So it's like they're testing our ability to not only design, but also to think like a marketer.
Yeah.
Understanding the psychology behind persuasion and how to effectively communicate with a specific audience.
Exactly. And those explain questions that we've talked about earlier are particularly relevant here.
Oh, right, because we need to be able to articulate our design choices and explain why they're effective.
Yeah, you might be asked to explain why a particular color scheme was chosen for a poster, or how the layout of a website enhances the user experience.
So it's all about demonstrating that we understand the why behind the what.
Exactly.
You got it.
Okay, well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. It's been amazing exploring the 3 Ps of graphic communication.
Yes.
And I think our listeners are now well equipped to tackle any design challenge that comes their way.
I hope so.
So to wrap things up, let's just reiterate that whether you're creating preliminary sketches, detailed production drawings, or eye-catching promotional materials,
Yeah.
the 3 Ps are your guiding principles for success.
So embrace those P's, experiment, have fun, and create something amazing.
And remember, there's a wealth of resources available to help you along the way, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Explore different techniques, and most importantly, never stop learning.
That's great advice. Thanks for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for me too. And good luck to all those budding graphic communicators out there.
That's all for this episode, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.